Half-time here, and it is South Africa 3-4-22 leading France 3 straight behind. The goal kickers in the first half there, Malamli with 2 for South Africa and Villali the other goal scorer as well for South Africa. But guys, a pretty competitive first half nonetheless though.
Very competitive first half, but plenty for the French to do. We did say in the opening half that 3-goal margin is plenty to come back by an international cup footy, so very important the French start well, but they do have the capability with some very good players on the paddock, so it'll be an interesting start to the third term.
Well, Dupont looks like he's going to start in the ruck. He's their captain and a very, very important player. They need to start to him to start getting his hands on the ball a little bit more, and Treulet in the middle as well. He's another important ball carrier for the French side. But we are about set to get underway here to start the third quarter. Brendan, over to you.
Dupont was where a lift could really come. He was their best player against Fiji back in round one, and he wins that tap straight down to Boucher. Booted forward there by Bonhorst. Up towards half forward it goes. Left behind by, that was Tawaku. Quick kick away. Backing up Dutjulwa. Out towards the wing it goes. Chance for South Africa to break clear. Diving on the football. There was the Lions midfielder. Lost possession of it. Eventually the French got it out. Kick goes straight up and down. Monnier tapped away from him. Good little hand pass. Allows the running player in Tawaku to kick long towards half forward, but unfortunately he's put it over the fence and out of bounds on the full free kick to Lecoq.
So the target there was Villali, but unable to get the ball. In fact, it's he's put it out by Fairway because they've brought the ball about another 20 metres up the line from where it went out. So the ball kicked up to half forward. Looking for a mark from France, unable to do so. Kick was smothered then. Good smother there by Napoleon. Now France get it back. Quick kick inside 50. Looking to run onto the ball on the lead there was Gerard. Can't do so and can't keep it in either. And we're going to get a boundary throw in at half forward for the Lecoq as they look to, or still looking to get their first goal of the game. They trail at the moment by 19 points, 3-4-22 to 3 straight behind.
We're about 65 metres around from the French goal. Ball back into play. At the back, Malamli was beaten for it by Dupont on this occasion. Treulet runs onto it for France. Puts it on the outside of the right boot. Just goes through the hands of the attacking player in Napoleon. Quick kick away for South Africa. Towards half-back it goes. The French will bring it straight back in. That is Bonhorst, who kicks up towards full forward. Front and centre was Ludo Barat. Threw it on the boot and tumbles it through. And Lecoq get their first goal through Ludo Barat. And that's exactly what the doctor ordered for France. They go to 1-3-9. South Africa, 3 goals, 4-22, early doors, third quarter.
The difference between that and the second term is they went forward so often, the French, and couldn't get reward for effort, momentum, a massive thing in footy. French were able to capitalise on one of their first forward thrusts in the second half. Can they get the momentum going their way? They can score quickly.
So back in the middle, a very, very important goal. We said at halftime they needed the first. They've got that. Now, can they follow up? Little tap down by Malamli, but it's turned. It's all France there in the middle. They get the clearance, bouncing ball. Oh, unable to take it there was Girard. He was taken to ground. And it's going to be a free kick surely to France. I think the umpire's pointing in the wrong direction. It should be going to Girard. It is. So he's just marking the mark there. He's going to be kicking from about 55 out. But
backing himself for the distance, isn't he? He hasn't even looked for an option.
No, he's very, very, very confident. So, Anthony Gerard.
This would bring the house down.
It would be a great kick if he can get it. Comes in, gets underneath it, hasn't got the journey. Going to sit underneath it, there's Boscard! And he takes the mark. And he's the danger man inside forward 50 for France. And he will go back from straight in front 20 metres out and look to bring the margin back to 7 points. So Boscart now. Kick on its way. It's straight through the middle. This is the dream start for France. So they get the margin back to 7 points. 2-3-15, 3-4-22 the Lions. And all of a sudden, it is right on here at Ransford Oval.
Just an error by defensively there by the South Africans. Boscart, too much room to run and leap at the football. Need a little bit of body pressure on him going to that ball. Didn't get it. And when that man's able to get a run, a jump and a leap, he's as good as anyone out there today.
Here at 190 centimetres, it's a big man in this game, Pierre Boscard from the Paris Cockerels. And he's really making his presence felt for the French. One down by Dupont, slapped forward again. Little hand pass came out, gave them an opportunity to build a third time, France. That was Dupont, who kicks up to half forward, almost Boscard again. Ball to ground level. It was a pretty wild tackle, that one, from Pierre. He gives away a free kick for high contact, back towards the wing, and a safely judged mark taken there by Benefit Beloy.
So Beloy now up towards half forward, goes over the head of the target there in Bartman. Getting it from behind there was Sakori. Gives it off. Quick kick forward by Gomez Olu. Bouncing ball. Just eludes the defender there. Maley went in hard as well. He couldn't get it. Now Sakori. He tries to keep it in, can't do so. We're going to get a boundary throw in deep inside, attacking 50 for the Lions.
Vagaries of football. That ball almost went back the direction it came, didn't it, when it bounced?
Certainly something that we've all grown up with here in Australia. The oval ball does unpredictable things. And I think sometimes we take it for granted, really.
So this is an opportunity for South Africa to get a quick reply. The French have dominated the early part of this quarter. They've got to make sure that they don't concede here because it could take all the wind out of the sails. Quick kick from Deguar goes straight up in the air.
Good mark.
It covered 15 metres, said the umpire. And that is Favero who's taken that mark. He chips it out wide towards halfback, looking for Boscard, who's come a long way up the ground. Or is that Jeremy Sardon with the slash through the zero that looks like a 9? Jeremy Sardon had bounced away from him and went over for a throw in.
Yeah, some of those French numbers, I must be honest, they are hard to pick up. Ball to be thrown back into play. Doing the ruck work there for the South Africans was Vallely, and couldn't quite get the hand of the ball. Finally quick kicked out of there, but ran out of room before he was able to do so, and it will be coming back and it will be thrown back into play here with South Africa. All of a sudden they're holding on to a slim 7-point lead, 3-4-22 to 2-3-15. 6.5 gone in this third quarter.
The French wouldn't want to concede here, but Shane, after a great start with a couple of goals, they've got a little bit of momentum. They don't want to hand that back over to South Africa just yet.
So, just forward of centre wing for the Lions. Big double-fisted thump forward by Mawagi. Slapped onwards there by Ntenza. Couldn't break free. Pack converges over top of the football again, and the umpire calls for a ball up. And the Shadows on the outer side of Ransford Oval. The margin, 7 points, as Shane said. Perfect start to this second half for France. One down by Malamli. Trying to work his way through was Trouillet. The little hand pass back to Mawagi. Was he out of play? No, there's a whistle anyway, just behind the ball. It's not against you, skipper. It's going to the French, and it'll be taken by Nicolas Boucher.
So Boucher now inside defensive 50. Hasn't got a lot to kick to, so kicks down the line. Target there will be Monnier. And the umpire's found a free kick there. So it'll be going to the French side. So again, up onto the wing. They go forward. Looking for a mark. Unable to take it there was Gerard. Goes to ground. Reading the play better. They're just reading it a little bit better at the moment. The French side comes back to Gerard now. Barely the 15, but the umpire's paid the mark. Quickly wheels onto the right. Goes inside or up to half forward, but a great mark taken there by South Africa. I think that might have been Mawagi. Gives the handball off, and off half-back South Africa look to go forward.
Maley makes the spoil for France. Little toe poke forward there from Bartman towards the top of the goal square. Off the outside of the boot and back with the flight. That mark wasn't paid to Boucher. Thought it travelled further than some of the others, and his rushed kick has been chopped off by Karabo Marijuana. He can line up from 35 out straight in front. I'm not sure. It must have been touched off the boot, that previous kick into attack. Marijuana kicks just over the post to the left. And through for a behind to South Africa. They go to 3-5-23. France 2-3-15 midway through this third quarter at Ransford Oval.
So ball brought back into play, just missed the target. Good work there by the South African player in Marikawane, who just had that shot at goal, was able to affect the spoil, but it's still France with the ball. Quick kick up towards half back, but coming in and taking a very strong mark for the South African side is Moagi. His kick, though, is not a good one. It's turned over, and the mark taken by Le Chalis in defence, but Le Chalis now looking to come wide. And that's also not a good kick. Was intended for Rawa Louis, but couldn't quite get there in time. Went over his head. Now comes back, still with South Africa. Little handball inboard to Moagi. Slips over as he kicked it. Maley couldn't quite take possession. Now picked up by Taiwaku. He's taken the ground, and we will get a ball up inside defensive 50. So Stephen noticed that the Malamli, who was dominant in that first half, he's now playing deep in forward.
Yes, has been, and South Africa looks to surge forward again.
Here's an opportunity for Maley for France. He had it ripped out of his possession. The umpire's seen something on the other side of the pack, and it's a free kick to France, and it's going to Sylvain Maley, the co-captain for Le Coq. He goes out into the back pocket, bouncing ball. Trying to trap it was Bartman, couldn't do so. Eventually he got back on the second go, fed the hand pass back to Marikwane, who hooked it back towards the top of the goal square. Bounced off the chest of a South African forward. Still in there. Quick hand pass up, and again from Ntenza. Still a chance for South Africa. The handball came back. This is Lungile. Throws it on the boot. It's going right to the line. They did that so well, the Lions. And Lungile kicks the goal that gives them the breathing space again. They're fourth. 4 goals, 5-29. France 2-3-15. And that hurts Le Coq.
Yeah, look, a great finish, but the French a number of times there had the football in defence and continued to go to the outer side to contested situation rather than bring it out to a broadcast side of the ground where we had more space and probably more options for France to move the footy. So it allowed that footy to stay in there inside 50 for maybe another couple of minutes, and eventually South Africa were able to get a shot through.
So important goal there for the Lions. And the ball's thrown up. Going up uncontested there was Crepon. But it's going to be South Africa with the kick forward up towards half forward. Running out, chasing the ball is Marikawane. Can't quite, got a bad bounce. Turns it over. Now high ball, Barrett underneath it, can't take it. Coming through hard there was Sardon. Now France up to half forward, chasing the ball out is Pinto. Can't quite keep it in play, however, and we'll get a boundary throw in half forward for Le Coq as they trail the South African Lions by 14 points. Been playing now almost 12 minutes in this third term.
5.5 minutes to play before three-quarter time. The French would love to get another one back. Boundary throw in. Just outside the forward arc for the French. It was one down by Crepon. Trying to work forward. South Africa can't do so through Bartman. It's over for a boundary throw in.
Given the scoring end will be with South Africa in the last quarter, you'd imagine the French wouldn't want to be any more than 1 goal behind.
So here's a chance again. That's the wind gathered that one and took it away. Good smother, and I don't think he realised he'd even done it. McKee's he was looking for the football, working through his Monnier, threw it on to Napoleon. He got dispossessed. They're still trying to get through here, the French. They've got the numbers. Trouillet breaks the tackle, or got rid of the football just in time. Here is now Napoleon, who didn't get a clear handball away, said the umpire, and they've made a mess of it. South Africa, this has to come back behind the mark so they can't get away. Free kick to South Africa inside defensive 50, and it's going to Denmark Beloy.
So a little bit unlucky South Africa there because they were away. They had loose numbers streaming forward, but Beloy now goes into the pocket, looking to bring the ball out towards the broadcast side of the ground. Dropping the mark there was Lonyeni. Still they go, the South Africans going in hard and taking the hit there for it was Zwane. Ball on the ground, pack forms. Need to try and get it out. Eventually they do. Napoleon couldn't take possession. Little handball out. Marikawane was in there as well. Tried to get to Moagi. He couldn't take it. Marikawane with a little tap forward. Now the kick by Lonyeni. Couldn't quite find the target, and it's worked over the boundary line, over for throwing right in front of the South African interchange bench.
So South Africa just working their way forward, the Lions. One down for France by Crepon. Towards the line again and straight back over from where it came. One more goal either way before three-quarter time. Could really be the difference between, well, whether South Africa just goes away and takes this 9th spot or whether France can come over the top. Bartman throws it on the boot, goes towards half forward, slipping over. It must be a little bit dewy out there in the early morning because there's been a lot of South African players slipping over. We'll have another ball up.
So, ball at half forward. Thrown up, neither ruckman contest it there. Comes down now to Barat. His kick up towards the wing. I find the target, Mawagi, who's been busy after quarter time. Can't find a teammate there. Going in hard again was Barat. I think he might have won a free kick there for high contact. He has. So the French number 20, Ludo Barat from Toulouse. Kicks into the middle of the ground. Napoleon was there, had to
Great
wait
kick.
for it, did well. So Napoleon now needs to try and set something up. Oh, instead he kicks into the man on the mark. Barat is there for help. He picks it up. Umpire's blown the whistle. And I think it might be going to the French side.
He's paid a dangerous tackle.
Yeah. Yes, I think you might be right there, Brendan. And so Barat will come back and he will get the ball through the middle of the ground. But all this has done is given South Africa time to set up behind the ball. And with less than 2 minutes left to play,
Certainly chew up some clock there as well as it's booted forward by Barat. No mark taken. Monnier arriving is the big fella Boscart. Threw it on the left boot around the corner. And luck's a fortune because it's found the teammate inside forward 45. And that looks like Sardon, who is going back off the Dennis Lilly to have this shot at goal. Very confident in his ability to kick the distance. He comes in now from Perpignan. Kicks from 46 metres out and kicks it beautifully. It's got the journey, it's got the goal. Jeremy Sardon kicks his first for the day, his second for the tournament. And France do get that all-important late goal in the third quarter. The margin back to 7 again.
Talk about confidence. Brendan, you said the Dennis Lilly run-up. He knew exactly what he was doing from the moment he went back for that kick. He knew it was in his range and kicked it absolutely beautifully as well.
8 points, in fact, the difference there just before three-quarter time.
just seen Benini Sakori too limp from the ground. He looked to be in some discomfort for the South African side. So you would think there'd be some doubt as to whether he will return with just 1 quarter remaining. Back in the middle. Tap down one by the South Africans. Quick kick forward there by Dudi Ulwa. Up inside 50. Can't take the mark there with Sam Ratt. Goes over the head of Maley. Comes to Malamli with the quick answer. Has he put it through? He has! So they answer straight back to the South Africans. Malamli, who's been dominant this morning, kicks his third. South Africa go to 5-5-35. They lead France 3-3-21, and you can hear the three-quarter time siren in the background, but that is exactly what the French side did not want.
How much energy did that suck out of the Laycock bench in front of us here as Malabongwe Malamli made it 1 goal in each quarter, having not kicked any for the entire tournament so far, the man from the Kaalicha Divines in KwaZulu-Natal.
Yeah, big goal either way there, but definitely the South Africans a handy lead, although we did see the French kick a couple within the space of 60 seconds to commence the second half. They're definitely right in this contest, but that goal makes it a whole lot harder for the final term.
They certainly showed that they can score quickly, haven't they? They've proven that now with that first couple of minutes. It's all about now coming out and doing and replicating it again.
The game has opened up a little bit as well. By far the more free-flowing football that quarter compared to the opening half, and you would imagine the trend to continue.
Well, it is three-quarter time here, and the margin is 14 points in favour of South Africa. 5-5-35 to 3-3-21. Don't go anywhere. We're going to have all the action from the final quarter coming right up after this break. 5-5-35. South Africa leading France 3-3. 21 margin is 14 points here at three-quarter time as we head towards the last quarter for both of these teams for the AFL International Cup competition for 2017. The goal kickers for South Africa, Malamli with 3, Langili with 1 and Vallely also with 1, while all singles for the French, it is Sardon, Boscart and Barat with singles. But gentlemen, a highly entertaining third quarter. Hopefully we're going to see much more of the same in the last.
Oh, I'm sure we will, Shane. There's no question about that. It's going to be a great finish to the game, particularly if the French can get the first goal and get something going their way.
Well, it's their last quarter for 3 years, isn't it?
Yeah.
So apart from the little tournaments that they play around, but the International Cup, they're certainly not going to leave anything rolling.
So we're just about set to get underway here in the final quarter. Brendan, take us away.
One down by Dupont for France, straight out of the middle. However, go the South Africans through Bartman. There was a good mark taken there by Massa, who gave the hand pass off to a man under all sorts of pressure, and pinned for holding the ball was Vuyasele Sekoe, and it'll be taken away for France. The big man in Raiwalui, who threw it out towards the wing, and it'll be thumped away in defence there by Mawagi, and we'll have a throw in.
So expect to see the French side come out pretty hard in this first 5 minutes, looking to try to bite back into this margin at the moment, which stands at 14 points in favour of the Lions. Ball thrown back into play. Little tap down there by South Africa was good. The quick kick forward up towards half forward, coming out to take the ball there for the South African side is that was Nintenza, and he's held up. The umpire calls for it. We'll have a ball up. Ball thrown up in the air. Quick little tap down there by Dupont, the captain. Can't find a teammate in space. Pack forms, we're going to get another ball up surely. Eventually the umpire calls for it, and we will indeed get another bounce.
Quick ball movement, long and direct. The keys for the French to get up and win this game in the final term.
Umpire threw it up in the air. It was one for South Africa by Malamli, and it doesn't clear. So we'll do it all over again. Big thump over the top. Third man up must be allowed here in the International Cup because that's been allowed to go. And it goes forward to about 25 metres and over for a boundary throw-in.
Interesting, throughout the tournament we have seen in some games they've allowed it, in other games they haven't, and I think it just comes down to the umpires that are in control on the day.
Quick kick forward for South Africa from Dutjulwa. Inside 50 and in the front spot there was Lonyeni. Plays on, kicks towards full forward. Lovely lace-out pass. And it found that man again, Malamli. And he can line up from 35 metres out. And if he kicks this, it would make it extremely hard for the French to get back. Malabongwe Malamli comes in, kicks on its way. He's hooked it. And it's off to the left. 3 goals, 1 for him. And the margin out to 15 points now in favour of South Africa. I tell you what though, guys, there's some very threatening clouds coming in from the south. The wind has swung around for the first time in this tournament. We certainly hope that there's not a lot of rain in that.
So ball kicked out now, and it is a big kick. It's probably an 80-metre kick out towards the boundary. And it's gone out of bounds and over for a throw-in. You're right about that, Brendan. The wind has certainly changed around, favouring the French now. So that will be of an advantage to them in this final quarter as they try to bring this margin back. It currently stands at 15 points. Ball thrown in, tapped down there by Vallely. Goes to the front of the pack. And no one able to take clean possession. We're going to get another ball up. Quite a few stoppages to start this final quarter.
That'll suit South Africa.
Certainly will. Running the clock down. That's all that they'll be interested in at the moment. Until they can get the ball inside 50 and look to score, but they're not going to with a kick like that. That is out of bounds on the full, and it'll be a free kick to France.
And that little double fist pump from Dugois when he saw the ball sailing over his head and he realised it was going to be his free kick. So this is smart play. They are aware of the clock that it doesn't stop. So running across almost to the other ground to get it back quickly. Dugois kicks up to centre wing. Unable to take the mark was Dupont. Trouillet can't get through either. Umpire lets it go. Eventually it's booted forward for France. And it was thumped away from Barat by Lungile. And it's over for a throw-in.
They need to be really bold, the French. Maybe try to change some angles with their kicking and that, not just keep it to a congested area. They need to open the final term up.
Ball thrown back into play, tapped down by Vallely. Tried to find a teammate there in Milwaukee, but eventually they get the clearance anyway. Bouncing ball in the middle of the ground. Coming out there was Marakawani. Little tap behind him. Had a teammate there, was clever, but maybe a little bit too clever for his teammate. Now they work it with a handball. That was a good little handball to a player running in space there in Taiwaku. Taiwaku all the way towards Malamli. Can't quite get a hold of it. Getting back there was Sam Rat. Couldn't take possession. They need to get here to France. They can't allow another goal. And eventually runs over the boundary line, over the goal line for a rush behind with the South Africans. 5-7-37 now, leading France 3-3-21.
It's starting to look dangerous now for the French. Lachal takes the mark and then kicks straight into the man on the mark. Has to go back and get it again, which he did. Snap around the corner again, off hands. Tried to tap on Beloy, but it bounced over his head. Tackle laid by Napoleon. Dupont fed it through, missed his target. Lonyeni, he got brought to ground, just hacked forward there for South Africa. Now that hasn't been touched. It'll roll towards the line. Malamli gets back there first. Goes down on one knee to get past the defender. And Malamli kicks 4, and South Africa might just about be there.
Yeah, tough to see the South Africans losing from here. Malamli, what sort of game has that man played? As you said, Brendan, 4 goals today. He has been the difference between the two sides when it's been about a 4-goal margin at the moment. And you can't see the French in the game from here being able to kick probably, to be honest, maybe 5 goals to win the game from this point on.
I'm not sure whether he deliberately took a knee there or if he just lost his footing, but the timing was perfect, wasn't it, to get under the trailing arm of the defender.
He dominated in the ruck in the first half. He's now gone forward and he's proving to be a real thorn in the side for the French team. And it's going to be South Africa again with the clearance. That one through Moagi. Got it up there to Sakoi. Now a little handball there, starting to look dangerous now. Quick kick forward by Matt Shane. Misses the target. Bouncing ball, unable to keep it in there is Ntenza. And we will have a boundary throwing deep in the pocket. South Africa once again into attack. Leading 43-21, 6.5 minutes gone in this final term.
Came into the tournament with high raps on him, Stephen, Matt Shane, but hampered by injury, and he did miss the game on Tuesday. Hasn't really been able to get into it today either.
So ball thrown into play. Umpires found a free kick. It will be going to France, a ruck infringement there, and it will be taken by the skipper in Dupont.
He went out wide looking for Roa Louis. Was knocked away from him. Little hand pass back into traffic. Slipping over again was Matt Shane. Taken away by the French. Towards the centre of the ground it goes. Clever little tap on by Tawaku. They've got the numbers and they've got the pace, the indomitable Lions. Put forward by Denmark Beloy. Through the hands it goes there of Ntenza. Snap around the corner for number 5, Malamli. It's off to the left. And through for one behind. There's no question that is the reason South Africa are going to finish 9th. Malabongwe Malamli, how good has he been?
You'd hope the French hold on here and still battle away because they don't deserve the margin to get too much bigger.
So ball kicked in. Sardon couldn't take the mark, went through his hands, but still with France. High kick up, looking for Napoleon. Ball has to sit for him. He did, but he was worked under it. Now Moagi, the hippo, as he's known in South Africa. Kick was smothered. Now the numbers are out the back. Comes to Napoleon. Good centering ball, but getting back there in defence. It's all South Africa. Comes wide, quickly plays on, looking out there for Bartman. Went over his head. Now Marakawani gives it off. Quick kick down the line. They're moving the ball with speed here. The South Africans. Ntenza went through his hands. And the umpire's blown the whistle. Free kick. Quickly plays it on Marakawani now. He takes it, gives it off, looking for Ntenza. Tried to get it back to a teammate there, Matt Shane. Comes to Matt Shane eventually, kicks around the corner. He'll be looking for Malamli, but over the back and feeding the handball off. That was clever play. Running into the goal and putting it through for the South Africans was Vallely. He gets his second, but good work to Sakoi to give it off to the loose man.
Just the ball movement there, Shane, was outstanding. They just refused to let it go out of play, South Africa, down here in the pocket. Matt Shane maybe stepped over the line as he hooked it back into the full forward zone, but they charged forward, South Africa, got the overlap going, and once they did get their running game, there was no stopping them from the French. So, South Africa blowing this one wide open now. It's unfortunate for Laycock, but the class has just been with South Africa throughout most of the day. Trouillet shrugged one tackle, couldn't get past the second one, and that will be holding the ball, much to his disgust. And it'll be taken away by South Africa. Tawaku, I've liked his game. He's been very good. Got a little, well, he thought about the hand pass and eventually drew the man enough to give it off. Driven forward for the Lions, and that's a good mark taken there by Intenza. Gave the hand pass off to Moago. Kicks up towards half forward. Dodging and weaving. Valeli threw it on the boot. It was Sequoia, in fact, he misses to the near side. Through for his second behind of the game.
Starting to play some outstanding football. South Africans, catch and release. Guys running by for the hand passing, hitting targets. Guys leading at the footy. Really good football to watch.
Confidence is a wonderful thing, and they've got all of it at the moment.
The ball kicked into play, goes over the back of the pack. Couldn't take the mark there, was Lungili. And the umpires paid a free kick. It's going to be going to the French side. Didn't quite see what that was for. I don't know if you guys picked it up at all. Ball kicked up towards half forward though. Getting the spoil there was Funder, and then he got the 1-2. Kick up onto half forward. Mark taken by Matt Shane, who's starting to get busy in this last 5 minutes. Oh, kick wasn't a great one, but Marakawani got the hand of the ball anyway. Little handball off. Comes out now to Bartman. He gives it off. Shot at goal. He's offline. Through for one behind. So they're peppering the goals at the moment, South Africa. They go to 7-10-52. They lead France 3-3-21.
31 points it's blown out to now. Easily the biggest margin of the game. And it'll be Fabian Flosch to bring it back in for Laycock. He goes short and he might turn it over. Good mark. Oh, it's not been paid. Through the hands on Ntenza. Kick up towards the forward pocket. Look at the wind. Grab that and drag it out to the left. Still a chance here for the Lions. Slipping over again. Those boots need some work before the next tournament. And it'll go over on the tackle for a boundary throw-in. In fact, he might have been pinged holding the ball. He has. So quick kick in from the boundary line, and the mark is taken by Valeli, who can line up for his third goal. So it's the only real thing in this game that's hurt them, South Africa. A lot of players slipping over when they're trying to turn. At Aubrey Valele from the Nyanga Bluebirds out of Cape Town, just 19 years old. Kicks from right on the arc, to the line it goes. Off hands, picked up by Ostorero, who steps through traffic and then has his kick smothered. Quick snap out of the pack. Flosch just got a hand on it and then picked up the loose ball. Sent it back towards halfback. South Africa have the wall built. This will come back in. It was Moagi who got it across to Waku, or Funder it was, who'll go again with the 1-2 Funder. He got it from Ngoma Zulu, kicks inside 50. No mark able to be taken, ground level ball. Trouillet knocked it back. Caught with the footy was Sardon. Possessed and a kicking in danger free kick will come back, and that will go to, I thought it was going to be Rats, but it will in fact go to Sardon.
So Sardon now, high kick into the middle of the ground. It's not a good one because the numbers there with the South Africans. Eventually comes out to Baloi. Now has a loose player out wide, although he slipped over at the crucial moment. Now France through Pinto. Little handball into traffic. They just can't find a loose player at the moment, can the French. Quick kick round the corner. Still they can't. Boscart would have been the target, but he's trailing behind at the moment. Now the little handball off. South Africa look to kick it up to the wing. Coming up, and was Mondin. Couldn't take the mark. Ball at half forward on the ground. No one able to take clean possession. Eventually the umpire is going to put a halt to it. He does, and we'll have a ball up about 55 out from goal with the French into attack.
One of the few times French have attacked in the final term.
Ball to ground level. Here's a chance for France, but South Africa will take it away. Kick came towards our telecast position. Running hard to get on the end of it and then stopping on a dime and going back in was Marakwane. Missed the target with the handball. Dispossessed was Bartman. Well, I think he's lucky. He gets a free kick for holding the man, and now we've got a bit of a disagreement here between Sardon and Tawaku. But the free kick will go to the Bartman, Tim the Bartman, who goes short. He's got his captain loose, which is Mawagi. Not a great kick from him, and it's been chopped off there by Maxime Favero.
So Favero off half back. It's an up and under ball. Dangerous one for his teammate there in Degoy, who can't take the mark. Umpire's found a free kick though. It's going to be coming back and it will be taken by Bernard. So he comes wide. Has the loose player out wide there in Flock, who chips over the top. Another loose player in Barat. It's very few times they've had players loose going forward of the French, and unfortunately slipping over at the crucial moment there was Boscart. Now South Africa. Now look at this on the counter-attack. They've got loose players streaming everywhere, but they've just got to find one. Tried to take the mark there was Matt Shane. Did well there in the second effort. Got the handball away. Now on the lead and taking a very comfortable mark and could even be 25 metres. There is Zaba. And the umpire, what's he going to do now? He's going to pay it there. And Zaba will go back and have a shot from 40 out directly in front.
The speed's really been noticeable of South Africa throughout the whole game, particularly in the final term.
Gives the handball off. Moagi from 50 out. Goes all the way to the line. Maley got the hand there for the French. Got it, kept it in play. Umpire's found a free kick. It's going to come back, and I think it will be going there to Crepon, who was legged in the goal square.
So Crepon just chips into the pocket, finds enough to get to Flosh, who has it 30 metres out from his defensive goal. Fabian Flosh, he's worked hard in defence, sends it down to the wing. It's going to come back. Moagi steps around one and then goes for a gallop, has a bounce. Could have possibly had another one, but spears it inside 50. Didn't find his target. Lachal took the mark for France. Brought it quickly out to Ubeda, who's not long come off the bench. Rafael Ubeda chips into the centre of the ground. Can't find a target. Girard taps it down. Working through was Barat from Favero. This is a good build. Monnier kicks up towards half forward, but judging at best in the last line was Zwane, and he takes the mark for South Africa.
So Zwane now will look to switch. Probably could have gone a little bit early to Taiwaku. Now he does. So the loose player's on, and now the lead is being honoured by Belowy. So Belowy down the line, through the hands there of Vallely. Still with South Africa. They've got the numbers. Marakoane, or dangerous handball, sold his teammate into trouble. Gets it back. Umpire's found a free kick, however. And it's going to come back, I think, to Vallely. In fact, it will be Bartman. So Bartman now. Number in the middle of the ground. They've just dominated this last term, have the South Africans. Moagi is the man. He goes inside 50 on the lead. Oh, did he take the mark? Umpire said he did, and that is Sakoi.
So Vuyisile Sakoi kicked a couple of behinds. He's been lively up forward, Sakoi. He kicks long and strong. Wow! Touched on the line. The goal umpire, well, was tapping his chest as if it was missing, but it was definitely a on-target kick. And a behind only for Sakoi. He's got 3. It was a fair effort from outside 45. Ball back into play quickly, and Sardom will take the mark. And that might have been it. Was that the siren? Did I hear it in the background? I think I did. Nope, they're still playing. Girard. Some have stopped, some haven't. It was the siren behind play. It's all over here at Ransford Oval. South Africa will finish 9th in International Cup 2017. France will finish 10th. And it is the Lions who have run away with a big win over the French today. They finished with 7-11-53. France unable to score in the last quarter, 3-3-21, a 32-point win to South Africa. Malabongwe Malamli with 4 goals was the hero, 2 to Vallely and 1 to Lungile. For France, those 3 goals in quick succession in the third quarter to Sardon, Boscart and Barat.
Yeah, as I was saying, guys, the longer the game went on, the more open that it became for the South Africans to really show the difference in skill level. Clearly the better side between the two, and they were able to show that, particularly in the second half, mainly in the last quarter, with some brilliant skills moving the footy down. Very impressive, the South Africans. The French, well, they were brave, played 3 good quarters of footy, just ran out of steam in the final term.
And as soon as it opened up, it was always going to favour the South Africans with their speed of ball movement. And that last quarter was very entertaining, even though the French side didn't score. From a South African perspective, it was great to watch the way they were able to move the footy.
Yeah, no question about that. The Lions of South Africa, well, They weren't able, even though they didn't kick a goal the other day against Papua New Guinea and lost by over 100 points, they were a better team than that, and they stuck with Papua New Guinea in general play, and we know how that's finished up with the Papuans going into the grand final. The Mosquitoes, who were just a little bit quick for them, that's the next level up again. But here against a team that they matched up a little bit better, then their systems were a bit stronger, and they were able to move the ball quickly enough to get themselves enough scoring opportunities to be able to run away with a pretty comfortable victory.
A nice way for the South Africans to finish the tournament.
No, absolutely, and we said that at the start of the broadcast that both teams would be looking to finish their competition with a win, and it has gone the way of the South Africans. Just quickly, the goal scorers, Malamli with 4 was the major goal scorer, Valele with 2, and Langili with a single for the Lions, while for France, all singles to Sardon, Bosca and Borat as well. Well, gentlemen, thank you very much for your efforts, Brendan and Stephen, in this game. Look forward to calling the next couple with you as well, and stay tuned, because coming up next we have the big game between Fiji and Canada.